Hi, I'm Abby, and I'm here with Molly today, and we're going to be discussing plant-based nutrition. So how are you today, Molly?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, I'm doing good. All right, so first I want you to just tell me about what plant-based nutrition really is.
So, plant-based nutrition in my mind is using plants, basically all the foods that come from the ground, legumes, grains, fruits, vegetables, straying away from dairy products, meat products, and egg products. So all of those things. And using nutrition in coming from the ground, basically using the plants instead of the dairy products to feed and nourish our bodies. So using all the nutrients from the ground instead of from other animals to nourish our bodies, promote health and wellness, prevent disease, whatnot.
Okay.
That's kind of a general view of when I think of plant-based nutrition.
And then it sounds like you're saying that there's a lot of benefits to it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to describe those, go into depth on the benefits?
Yeah, I don't have any on the top of my mind, but
Yeah.
some of the research that I've come across deals with cancer and how eating a lot of plant-based nutrition products, things coming from the ground, it promotes an alkaline sort of system in your body. So when you eat animal products, it kind of causes an acidic reaction in the body, which can promote inflammation, disease. Mainly it will promote cancer growth, versus when you eat a lot of plants, they do not elicit the same effects.
Okay.
And so you're not going to be seeing as much disease proliferation and whatnot. So basically the reason why I'm really involved with plant-based nutrition is that there seem to be a lot of benefits with disease prevention and preventing the long-term cancer, heart disease, diabetes, the huge ones that are causing a lot of problems in society today.
Okay. So it seems like you're really passionate about this topic. And has this always been something of interest, or is this new?
Yeah, it's actually fairly new.
Okay.
So I'm 21 and I'm a senior this year. So I actually got really involved after my freshman year. So I wasn't plant-based at all freshman year, ate meat, actually a lot of it, and dairy. And I actually suffered from a lot of immune problems that year and got diagnosed with a couple of diseases myself. And so I started being open to more different views of nutrition. I got introduced to a couple documentaries that promoted health and plant-based nutrition and talked about all this cool research that was kind of being shoved under the rug because of, government and big, businesses that have a lot of power in society. So I've been plant-based for about 3 years now.
Okay,
I'm really
so it
passionate about
isn't something that stems from your family?
Nope,
This is
not
just
at all.
all
My
you?
family thinks I'm kind of crazy. My dad calls it a phase. And I'm like, it's not a phase. So they kind of just joke around about it, but I think it's not a big deal. But to me, to be able to control my future impact of disease and health and not have to pay all the crazy medical bills if I'm, changing little habits about what I'm eating, which I actually do feel like I'm eating better, and I feel like I'm healthier today than I was freshman year as well. So yeah, definitely new to it, but it's a lot of fun. I like it, and I'm really into it.
So you just said you can feel the benefits in your body.
Mm-hmm.
Do you personally feel that after 3 years of being
I feel like I just feel a lot more energetic.
Okay.
Weight loss has happened just normally. So I gained a lot of weight from freshman year. It just happened. I also got diagnosed with hypothyroidism, so my metabolism's a lot slower.
Okay.
And once I started eating more whole foods, not as processed, coming from the ground, and straying away from, the animal products, I didn't even have to think about it because I was feeling full without even having to worry about my calorie intake. It just came, and I was always full.
Okay.
So it was kind of nice. So those are some of the benefits.
Now, I know that you're a dietetic student, so
Mhm.
has that influenced your beliefs in plant-based nutrition at all?
It makes me just mad. The whole dietetics program really follows the traditional, meat, dairy, they're starting to go more towards, incorporating a vegetarian diet, things like that, but it's still a standard to eat dairy and meat and eggs because there are all these good things about it, which I get that there can be good things, but there also can be really bad things that I feel like they're shoving under the rug. So it just is kind of frustrating that, for example, they talk about omega-3s, which is a healthy fat that we all need in our diet, and in my dietetics class they talk about the only way to get this is through fish. When there are sources that are higher than fish in it that come from the ground, like chia seeds or flax seeds, but they totally don't even mention it. And so that just frustrates me that they don't even give people an option.
Yeah.
And people won't even know about this going into the future with dietetics. because, you know, our teachers already been promoting it. Like, I had to find that out by myself.
Okay.
And those are the things that I eat, because I don't eat fish, so I have to know the other ways to get omega-3s into, you know, my system, whatever, for me to be healthy. But when they're not, you know, telling us these other sources, how is someone who's going to be a dietitian be able to promote that to the public, to their clients?
So
If
you
there
think
wasn't even given an option.
it's really underreported in your
Yes.
classes, and your professors don't really hit on the subject?
Or they think it's just kind of like, oh, this is a new fad, or, you know,
Okay.
but there's so many, like, there's not enough research out there and stuff like that. And,
Okay.
But I feel like there is, it's just getting totally shoved under the rug and it's not being addressed. And so that's why I think there's just so much power in plant-based nutrition, and its ability to cure and prevent disease. And so it's like, I don't understand why it wouldn't even just be looked at or be
Okay.
addressed. Because, I mean, it makes sense that, you know, foods that come naturally from the ground have the most nutrients. It just, from the soil and whatnot. And I just don't understand why, you know, the current dietetics vision isn't incorporating more of like a plant-based nutrition. It doesn't mean it has to go full plant-based, because that's just not ideal, you know, for
Yeah.
a society. But definitely going more towards it and limiting our dairy and our meat and trying to get those nutrients that we might be missing from meat and dairy and bringing them in through plants.
Okay, definitely.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just underreported, and it
Yes.
needs to be something that's incorporated more into the education for
Yes.
future dietitians?
Yes, I just think just giving it an option, like it's not even like not even
Yeah.
a slide, you know,
Yeah.
addresses it. Or if it does, it's like, oh, this is a crazy weird diet and the vegan diet, and it's just kind of like weird, and there's,
Definitely.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I feel like if there's potential for this could, you know, to reverse, you know, all these diseases or prevent it at least, why isn't it being addressed?
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it just kind of frustrates me, because I want to go into dietetics and I just feel very almost discouraged, because I feel like I'm this little person who has this big view about like all these things that can help people, but if I ever go work for a hospital, there's no way that I'm ever going to be able to promote what I truly believe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like when you're so passionate about something, it's hard to just put that aside
Yeah.
and just go with the regular guidelines when you're like, oh, here's a person who has cancer, and yet I have to feed them Jell-O and hamburger and chicken tenders, when I'm like, I want to be feeding them fruits and vegetables, beans and rice, like, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it just would like hurt me inside. I feel like I wouldn't be doing my duty as a dietitian to be giving, because I know dietitians they have to give, you know, Jell-O, cookies, cake, all that stuff, and that's not what I want to do. I don't want to give them cake or dairy or all these things. I'm like, that's definitely not going to cure your
Yeah.
cancer, you know. So
do you think there's a difference in benefits between a vegetarian and a vegan diet
mhm.
with plant-based?
Yeah, so yeah, with vegetarian, you're just eliminating the meat, and there's been a lot of research done with the protein casein, which is found in milk dairy products. And so casein, basically, that's the biggest one that they found with cancer. So,
Oh, okay,
Yes.
so we're almost out of time, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna recap what you said just to make sure I hit all
Yeah,
the main
yep.
points. So you're saying plant-based protein is beneficial through
Mm-hmm.
disease prevention, and you think this needs to be more incorporated into the classroom and schooling of dietitians.
yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add before we end?
I think you basically covered it. So,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
thank you for your time.
Of course, no problem.
Yep.